Hey guys, it's Calaveras32 Special again. Today I would like to start a two-part, the first part of a two-part video on, add a little bit of archery onto the page, or onto the channel, my bad. Part 1, I'm going to focus on the bow and the components that are directly connected to it. Part 2, which will be coming up, will be for the accessories such as the release, arm guard, and we'll get into some of the information on arrows. Set this off to the side for now. Okay, this is my newer bow. I have a bow as well as a much older design, and I'll be doing a video on it here at some point as well. This is a diamond, made by Bowtech, and it is their Razor. I'm not sure if you can read that. It's their Razor Edge. A little more of an entry-level bow, but still a good, overall decent quality. I haven't had any complaints about it. I picked this up used off of an old co-worker of mine. And it came, basically as you see here, I had to add the arrow rest in, but that was it. It has an apex gear, 3-pin fiber optic. Works pretty well. I like it. I have it I zeroed it for 20, 30 and 40 yards, I believe it was. Maybe 30, 40, 50. I can't remember exactly. It's been a couple years since I shot the bow. Has the balancer. Let's see here, what brand is this? I don't even remember, to be honest with you. Octane. Has an Octane balancer on it, so that way when you're holding the bow upright, of course, it gives you the weight this way is balanced. That's where it will sit. It sits nicely in your hand. Again, I had to add the arrow rest because it didn't have one. I went with a Quad Ultra Rest Hunter fall away. Is it not going to want to stay up for me? There we go. How it works is it has this cord attached to, using this clamp to the bowstring. As you draw, which this is not a finger bow, so I can't draw it very far or it might damage it. You can see a little bit where this actually starts to move. It pulls this string down, tensioning it while you're aiming. And then as soon as you release the arrow, it falls forward out of the way, coming away from the arrow, and the arrow is allowed to fly. The idea being behind this type of rest is it doesn't drag on the arrow shaft. Some of the other simpler non-mechanical types of rests, modern one is the Whisker Biscuit, which is a ring with a slot in it. It has like a stiff bristle brush type idea where that holds the arrow, but the arrow does rub against it while on release. Some people think it slows the arrow down. I don't know. I went with this one because it was what was suggested to me. The older style bows, like my old PSC that I have in the closet, that was my uncle's, has a soft plastic finger that sticks out off of the riser. This here is your riser. Obviously your handle. These are your arms. I don't know what this shelf is called. I don't remember, and or what these individual pieces are. I don't recall that either, unfortunately. But this is your brace, your quiver that's attached to the bow itself, allowing you to hold your extra arrows. And then a simple braided cord that is held on by the threads that hold your stabilizer on. Quick demo on that, just for kicks and giggles. Sound effects always help. So that's where it's a simple leather pad with these cords tied through it, and when this threads into the bow, that's what holds it all in. This allows you to easily and securely hold your bow without fear of dropping it. Not the technique I use, but one of the techniques that is used in archery is you would draw with your hand closed. You reach full draw, you actually let go when it's the pull that holds it in, and as soon as you let go, your bow drops into the, you let go, the arrow goes flying, and essentially the cord catches the bow. I personally prefer to hold on to it at all times, and this is just an emergency backup. I don't know the advantages and disadvantages of either technique. That's just the one I learned on. This bow is set at a 60-pound draw weight. I don't recall what the draw length is anymore. If you're new to archery or you're just thinking about getting into it, an entry-level bow such as this will serve you well. This is a diamond, but there's also excuse me. There's also Bear. There is Bowtech actually has some of their name brand bows. There's a variety of companies. You can go to a big box store that has an archery department, but if you don't know anything about them, and you don't have anybody that knows anything about archery, my suggestion would be to go to a dedicated archery shop where the staff is much more likely to be knowledgeable, and you can ask questions. Their prices will undoubtedly be higher because most of those shops sell much fewer items per given month than a big box. Where let's say Sportsman's Warehouse, for example, because that's a local shop to me. Sportsman's is a national company. They buy as a national brand and then send the stuff like their bows and other items to warehouses, then distribute them. So they have thousands of locations, or at least hundreds of locations, as for buying power. Versus, I'm here in Sacramento, so up in the Auburn area there is a company called Wilderness Archery. It is a one location shop. There's no way that they're going to move nearly as much product. So, but the price you pay at those shops, is worth its weight in gold when you consider the knowledge and experience that you are getting from the people behind the counter in the end. Because a budget bow is going to cost you as much as a budget rifle. You're looking easy $400 to get one that's completely ready to, because you can buy them that are like this. Most of them aren't going to have the budget ready to goes. Probably aren't going to have a fall away rest. They're going to have a whisker biscuit. But between buying a budget bow, a set of arrows, a release, an arm guard if you choose to run one, is going to cost you a fair amount of entry, initial entry cost, as any new hobby that requires gear does. But I highly suggest going somewhere that's knowledgeable, and asking questions. You can learn a lot. Anyhow, I appreciate you guys stopping by. This is the Diamond Edge, compound bow. I am Calverse32 Special. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Have a good night.